To explain the pathophysiology of congestive heart failure, we're first going to look at what happens at the cellular level to generate a normal contraction of the heart muscle. Then we'll briefly talk about the abnormalities that lead to dysfunction and eventually lead to heart failure. Much of this will be review from first semester anatomy. So we know that cardiomyocytes are the cells that make up the heart muscle and are responsible for generating a contraction. This is called the excitation-contraction coupling process, and it works like this. An electrical signal or action potential is generated and travels along the sarcolemma and down into the T-tubules and into the cell. Located on the T-tubules are these receptors and channels open, allowing for calcium to enter the cell. The sarcoplasmic reticulum is responsible for storing calcium inside the cell, and so this inflow of calcium triggers the sarcoplasmic reticulum to release even more calcium. This is called the calcium-induced calcium release and is required for heart muscles to contract. During the contraction of the heart, which is in systole, these large amounts of calcium bind with troponin and cause actin-myosin interaction in the cross-bridge formation. During relaxation of the heart, in diastole, calcium is pumped back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum and outside of the cell. The cross-bridge becomes detached and tropomyosin goes back to blocking the active sites. Two main things cause the excitation-contraction coupling system to become altered. The first one is expression. So there's a change or a mutation that occurs, and it affects how certain proteins and receptors are expressed in the process of a muscle contraction, like the receptors that are located on the T-tubules and the receptors of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. They can't do their job properly. These changes can be genetic. Another cause of alteration is a reduced accumulation of calcium in the sarcoplasmic reticulum store. So there's not enough calcium available for the next stimulated contraction. These factors change the ability of the heart muscle to contract, and over time, as the heart is unable to pump efficiently, it can lead to heart failure.